Hey everyone, this is Matt from Bronco Nation, and we are out here today at SEMA. There's a lot of really cool Bronco builds out here, but we're gonna be walking through this one. And you may have already seen this on the internet because this is probably the first 2021 Bronco with a solid front axle. So let's go ahead and jump in. So this Bronco actually started out as a base Bronco non-Sasquatch, and obviously there's been a lot that's been done to it. So we'll start here at the front end. This is a full roll parts bumper that has been added onto it, and it has been slightly modified and re-powder coated, and there are rigid lights that are inset onto that. And on top of that bumper, we do have a Smittybilt winch, good for 9,500 pounds towing capacity, and also have this custom-made 3D printed grille. And this grille is cool because it's a throwback to the first gen Broncos. You'll notice that it actually says Ford on it instead of Bronco like you would find on the new 6th gen Broncos. We also have the amber overlay on the parking lights, and that is also a throwback to the first gen Broncos. So now making our way down the side of the vehicle, first thing we notice are these huge 40-inch tires. We'll get to those here in a little bit. The other thing is obviously the decals that go down the side. So these are known commonly as the Sunset decals. They were part of the freewheeling package on the 2nd gen Broncos. And I think it's a really cool throwback to some of the earlier generation Broncos. And we also see a cool throwback here with the Bronco badging on the side being the classic badging as opposed to what we would normally find on the new 6th gen. So Kyle from Delfab was actually the one that built this Bronco, and he will be selling these decals. So go find him. The link to his Instagram is in the description. Going farther down the side, we have these side steps from 4-Roll Parts. You can get these from them. And we also have a rooftop rack by Artec, and this is custom built for this Bronco using the factory mounting points on the roof. And then we have rigid lights inset into that all the way around. We also have these 4-wheel part fender deletes that have been slightly modified for additional clearance. Making our way to the rear here, we also have a 4-wheel parts bumper that has been slightly modified for additional clearance for those 40-inch tires. And we have rigid pod lights that are set into that. Now, one big thing that you'll notice on the rear is that rear tire has been relocated to the trunk space. So we'll go ahead and take a look at how that's been done. So they've created a custom mounting solution here for this rear tire that actually uses the existing mounting points on the rear load floor here. And it's been positioned this way so that we can still access this rear department here to get to the jack and other stuff like that. But one additional thing that's been added here that you'll see is an actual air access point, so you can use that. There's a compressor that's actually underneath. So now making our way to the suspension, obviously pretty much everything has been redone on this Bronco. And the first thing we notice here is the front skid plate. So this is actually not the original skid plate that would have come from 4-Wheel Parts. It has been custom made because we couldn't fit that original 4-Wheel Parts skid plate with the new axle that we've added here. Then behind that, we can see that we have aftermarket sway bars. This is a Curry Rock Jock sway bar that has been added, and that's necessary with all the suspension work that's been done. Moving on to the main part of this Bronco, what it's been known for pretty much all over the internet is this solid front axle here. And this is a Dana 60 solid front axle from a 2008 F250. So we also have Yukon Zip air lockers, Yukon 538 gears, and Yukon front chromoly 1550 axle shafts. We've got PSC full hydro steering, Fox 2.5 remote reservoir, 10-inch travel shocks all the way around, and Fox 2.0 air bumps. So you'll notice that we have these huge 40-inch Mickey Thompson tires on the side. These things are really aggressive and they do give it a great stance. And with that, we also have some KMC wheels and worn locking hubs. We also have SSBC big brakes to make sure that this thing can actually stop, because with these big tires and everything that's been done to it, obviously you want to be able to stop on a dime. Now, making our way into the interior of this Bronco, there's not a whole lot that's different than stock, but you'll notice some big things that have been done. The first one being this custom steering wheel from Shadowcraft. It looks very much like a racing steering wheel, but we think it looks pretty sweet. And also these seats, these are custom seats that have been made. They look very luxury and high end, but I kind of like them. So looking underneath this Bronco, the entire frame has actually been powder coated and the fuel tank has been relocated to account for the driveline. So I'm making our way to the rear suspension. It's pretty much just as crazy as the front. There's a lot that's been done to it. So the rear axle is a 2008 F250 rear Sterling 10.5 axle, and it has new custom links with stock axle brackets added to the Sterling 10.5. So under the hood, obviously we have new shock towers, the PSC steering pump, and then the Fox reservoirs. All right, Bronco Nation, thanks for joining us today to check out this sweet build. We'll drop the whole build list in the description. And again, make sure to go check out Delfab's Instagram, which we will also link in the description. So until next time, we'll see you.